Hey, how you doing? This is Chris. Alright, I'm just waiting for Unreal Editor to load. This is going to be a short project, because really, it's kind of my test. This is going to be the first one, okay? So probably be an hour long with that. I'm just waiting for everything to work and start up. I'm using a Blue Nessie microphone and Bandicam. Last time I was recording, I was using Camtasia, so hopefully this will be different. And I'm going to start off with File, New Level, and I'm just going to start with the default empty map, like that. Then I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save off or over the old scene that I was doing. That way I can't return to it. I've recorded quite a lot of stuff, and I'm still a bit pissed about that. Anyway, let's go back to what I'm using here. So I am using let's see, Infinity Blade Grasslands. I'm using that. I'm also using the water pack, which I think is here, Water Planes, which is free in the educational section. And I might be using some rocks, which are, well, they're around here somewhere. They're the $5 ones or $6 ones, the sculpted rock pack. Just to show you. Okay, I'd like to make a point every so often of using different things. So this time I'm going to use the sculpted rock pack. Next time I'll use something different. There's only like 9 meshes in this, those ones, but it's certainly enough to kind of get quite a lot of stuff done. Okay, so this is just going to be a very simple water-based scene. So what I could do is I could have some terrain in this if I wanted. I've got some pre-generated terrain that I can use, but I'm really kind of looking to avoid doing that as much as possible. So instead what I'm going to do is just go to my water plane, and I'm going to just get a mesh. I've got this SM Water Ocean, which I'll just drag in here, okay, and then I can scale it. So I'll just scale it on all these axes till it's about that big. Alright, now it's a bit big, so I'm going to come back, and I think I'll probably stick a lake on it, and close the world settings because I've got them open. There we go. Just drop that there instead. So we get this, which is a much more mild looking water scene. Okay, this is where I'm going to start everything. Now I need some land. You bugger off, sea cleaner. I need some land to put things on, so what I'm going to do is go all the way back, and rather than building a terrain, first thing I'm going to do is put a camera in. So right click, and I want to place actor, camera. Okay, just put that to about there, and I'm going to pin it. Okay, I'm going to have this, and I'm going to turn this to unlit. So this is lit, this is unlit. Next, I am coming into Shush, sculpted rock pack, meshes, and this is all our basic stuff that we can start with. So I am going to probably start off with this rock here, okay, because it's a nice big flat rock. Turn it about 90 degrees so it's facing the camera. Just gives plenty to get started with there. Okay, and just bring it up so it's got a bit of height. And then I'm going to start replicating my stuff. That. Okay, so we start to get this kind of rocky beach thing going on here. that. So I'm just breaking up the shape. It's kind of trying to come up with some bits here that are going to be interesting and just look nice. I'm going to build a kind of cliff in the background here. Maybe bring it over to about there. Again, just kind of trying to come up with shapes that are going to work as best I can. Add some variation to them. And here. So I do apologise that I'm kind of flying around the scene here. If you're just watching the time lapse, you won't be able to hear me, so I can say whatever I like. But at the minute I'm just trying to get the impression that we've got these kind of cliffs going on. Things are kind of up there. I don't want too much regularity. I can possibly get away with it. So I'm just trying to break up the shapes a bit. Add a little bit of variation to it until we get to kind of the back here. Like that. Really blending these rocks in, just trying to make a cliff face shape. It's just, like I say, it's all about losing the regular shapes as much as possible, just trying to come up with something that's kind of fun, but at the same time not going to distract us too much. And of course I can scale the rocks. Bring it over to there, maybe down a bit. We're just trying to kind of come up with a history, a reason. Why is this like this? And at the same time I want to mess around with my camera and just come up with something here as well. I'm trying to tell a story with this scene a bit. Just turn off my angle snap a bit, just add a little bit of an angle to it. There we go, not too much. Yeah, that's better. So we've got quite a bit going on here, but we haven't got the regular shapes that I was really trying to avoid, so that's good. Now, just going to start putting some larger pieces in. Like that, just at the back. And just duplicate. Trying to build up some interesting shapes here while at the same time losing the regularity. Now, if you're used to old school game engines, then you may be all kind of, why am I doing it this way? And it's because with Unreal Engine we don't have to be messing about with, you know, trying to get things exactly next to each other. We don't need to worry about intersecting meshes because Unreal Engine doesn't care. If you want to intersect your meshes, Unreal Engine's going to let you. So there we go. Nice. And even though we can see a lot of regularity of patterns up here, down here we can't. So if I was to come in here and just play, yeah, that's cool. Okay, next. I want to start pulling out now some ground just to come up with something. I mean, this is just a very simple scene, like I say. At the minute, I mean, I've only been recording for 10 minutes and already we have the bases kind of done. I'm not going to bother with the background and the lighting yet, but we've got this here, Infinity Blade Grasslands. Now, if you don't have the rocks, then, you know, it's okay. You can probably pull some out of here. If you look, there's all sorts of fun things you can be using. So, here we see some stairs, and what I'm looking for is a floor. And I know there is one. There it is. And you can see it's quite large, 772, 772. So if I pull this out like that, and what I'm trying to do now is get it so that we have are kind of merging between the water just here and the stone which I'm building. So there we go. Just put these two next to each other like that, and this is going to be the basis for our temple. Now what I'm going to do next is just grab this and this, so these two pieces, and I'll set this to 10 for the minute. Hold Alt and just drag up, and then I can drag it in. Just give myself a little bit more room here, just to about that much. Okay, so we've got some really nice big building blocks. Now my camera, I feel, is now a bit low, so I'm going to put that about there. Maybe turn it just a little bit more as well. There we are. Just so I can kind of see what's going on. Okay, there's not a lot that I need to do now. I need to go and find some pillars. So we've got all these nice columns here, large ones and middle-sized ones and stuff. So let's get started. We're building a water temple, so we want it to look like a water temple. And again, just move that to there. Just try and get everything right. Okay, because I like that. And depending on the period we're going for, you see, some temples are predating arches, some aren't. This one probably doesn't, but I like the idea of being able to use these just to kind of cap it. So what I'm going to do is just mess around with this. Now I could have just scaled it on the Z-axis by -1, but I didn't. Going to make sure these are lined up, and because of the way that the lighting is going to work as well in this, I'm going to need something to go over these. So what I'm going to do again is just grab this and this, bring it straight up, and I'm looking to avoid gaps in my mesh, as you can see just there. So what I'll do is I'll drop this down to 1. Let's get these all lined up. There we go. And there. Yeah, that looks fine. So now what I'm going to do, select these 4, and I'm going to move them back. It gives us this beautiful monolith-like temple. Now with like these really heavy parts going on. And now what I'm going to do is start building around it, just to start kind of disguising the fact that, you know, this is a huge temple. There we go. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to use this like that. Just want to get the scales right and everything. And I've been debating whether or not to start doing this today, so I'm glad that I did. I'm just going to lock these and take this to about 1.3, 1.25. I just want to get this where it's nearly at the top, 1.27, 1.28. Just trying to avoid leaks. 1.28 seems good. Okay, and this will allow me now to kind of start building a wall off this. So I'm going to search for a wall, and you'll notice there's a few here. So we've got this nice straight one, which I like a lot. So what I'm going to do is pull that into there. Okay, so it's just behind it. Like we've said before, we don't need to worry about intersections and things. They're not important to us. So if I get this now, just bring it back. Just like so, about there, and I'm just going to grab all 3 of these items, and that means I can pull them across to here. Let's get them right at the edge. See, the whole idea is that I'm trying to create this kind of giant monolith-like area. I want to start kind of slipping them into areas like this. this one up and just start messing around with its scale until I get one that's kind of right, one that I like. Because the whole idea is that we're trying to give the impression that this water temple that's leading down here onto, obviously the water, is going to be sturdy and strong and keeping things out and stuff. Okay, now over here, turn it around again. But I'm only working to within the confines and boundaries of the camera itself, so I'm not interested as much, certainly, in bits the camera isn't seeing. So I know that's behind there, but I don't really need to go much further in, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's doing good. Now I'm going to go inside here and I want to block off these areas. So what I'm going to do is just pull this out, just rotate it 90 degrees and then push it in there. There we go. It's one. And then two. Just pop that there. Then we get this, just pull it straight in. And I'll take the middle. And I can see that I've got a couple of light leaks coming in, so I'm just trying to avoid them. So what I might do is just increase the scale of this to 1.35. And that should fill the sides just about. Yeah, there we go. And that's sticking out over the top, so that's good. We have the inside of the temple come along nicely. Now I want some smaller pillars inside this, so pillar. Well, look at these huge ones. I'll just wait for it to load. Sometimes it takes a minute or two to load up a pillar. Nah, it's not fit. So look at the columns. We've got some nice large broken columns here, so what I'm thinking is I can have one actually down here in the sea, slightly submerged, like that. And this one, which is the wrong scale at the minute, it's 2 times too small. If we stick that there, because an interesting thing is that in the oldie days, when they used to do this kind of architecture, Freemasons' kind of style of building was that they'd have a master pillar and a slave pillar. Not slave, a master pillar and an apprentice pillar, sorry. And, you know, one would be worked on obviously by the master and one would be worked on by the apprentice. And there'd be 2 completely different styles. There'd be a chance for the apprentice to show off like his skills and everything. Okay, that's looking good. There's still a gap there, so yeah, that's better. Okay, just going to go around this and look it over. I mean, this is not a very complicated building at the minute. We're going with something very, very simple. Okay, and I need some stairs next. Let's see what we've got. No, I don't want those ones, so I'm going to have to go down and have a look and see what else we've got, because I think it'll be near the floor. There's all sorts of funky things we could be using here, and I intend to use as many of them as possible. Because if they give you these resources for free, and this is about $3 million worth of development in this folder, if they're giving you them for free, then, you know, by God, make sure you use them. Oh yeah, I'll stick this here as well, actually. So I do like this tower. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Oh, there's a large rock, look. Rocks are great, look at that. Anyway. Quite like that. Oh, it's just landed there. Anyway, I'll just have a look at the rocks. I'm being silly at the minute. I'll come back to the statues. I just want to find these stairs before we continue. I know they're around here anywhere, somewhere. because there's all sorts of cool things. Actually, I quite like that. I like the fact that we can use this rather than the stairs. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. There we go, and I think I'll pop that about there. Okay, so we have that. Now, our camera probably needs to pull back a little bit, so I'm going to remove this because it's kind of blocking this ramp now. And I think I would like to bring this camera around a little bit. There we go, map a little. Actually no, the up makes it look a bit too positive. I'll keep it like it was, there we go. I can always just raise it up a bit. It's a very plain scene, but that's okay. I don't mind playing. Plane's working for me. Okay, now we have these SM plane floor blocks, which are these steps that I was talking about that I quite like the look of. You maybe think, well, how am I going to fit them all now? Because I've got this thing in the way. Simple. I'm just going to put them in anyway, just have them intersect if I have to. I'm just going to get this to there, pull it across to about there, and then down to there. Beautiful. And over this side. There, lovely. Okay, so that's working quite nicely. Now, down here, I don't want that one's not the right size. I want something a bit smaller. 772, 495, 240. That doesn't really fit in with anything that I'm doing, so I'm not going to bother with that. I've got some nice large rocks here. Let's have a look. Nah, don't like that. Too ruined. Right. Again, just going around it. I want to put some statues in just a minute. And I think I would like to bring these walls forward. Because there's no real reason to be able to allow people to go straight into the temple. But if I have a gap here, like that, I can put some cylinders on either side of it. So, let's see. So, I don't want pillars. I want... I'll find them. Some columns. I quite like these columns small, because I can make them a bit bigger. Like so. About that. To about there. Okay. Yeah, that's working okay. Now I need some statues, so got a few decent options here. And I'll have bloke with torch, I think. And I'm going to embed him into this bit of wall here. go to my effects, so I'm going to go back to here, and here, and I should have a burning FX. Let me see, FX meshes, materials, textures, ambient. These are materials, normal materials. Particles. There we go. Let's have a look. Water, dead leaves, dust coat the ground, dust, light. No, I don't want any of them. Okay, so I'll go back to my starter content, which I also included, and there should be some particles in here. Should allow me to just drop particle of fire. I need a big one, I just need one to go in here. I don't sadly have a Campbell one at the moment, although if I was to use one of the other demo ones I probably would have. I'm going to change the scale on this to 0.25 because I don't need it that big. As you can see, it's doing what it should. And I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt and take its friend on a little holiday to there. So even though we can't see it, we know it's behind there. So if I change my angle, we will see it. Now then, in here, where not a lot's going on, I want something. So I'm going to stick some fire and some smoke down here, which I'm going to use in a bit, and maybe some lit steam. So I've got these 3 particle systems, and I'm going to go back to my content, Infinity Blade, static meshes, and just see if I can find some sort of a brazier or, you know, torch-like thing. So I'm just going to look through my pile. There's usually a few things here. Here we are, this castle fountain will do. Okay. And I'll have it to about here. And then I'm going to take this, stick it in there, and this, and this, okay, and trying to decide whether or not I should have this a bit further in or not, because I'm having trouble seeing it because of this not being in the right area. I'll just turn it a bit. I don't want anything needlessly complicated, but on the other hand I do want it to look okay. And then I'm going to use just a standard point light for the minute. I'm not going to use any special kind of lighting materials on it at the moment. I just want to give the effect that we've got some light coming through. If I go back to my Infinity Blade Lands now and effects, I should have an FX material I can use. Don't know if there's anything in here suitable though. No, that's a shame. I was hoping they had like a nice light one I could use, but they don't. Never mind, I'll just use this one for a minute, and what I'll do is I'll just change the lighting a little bit to make it a little bit more red. There we go. Now I am colourblind, so it may not be as red as I'm hoping for, and I won't know. So it's up to you to laugh about that, because, you know, you'll find it funny. Okay, now I want to go over here and just reduce the sun's brightness overall, and I'm going to find my light source over here and reduce the light as well. don't want it too light. And then I'm going to go over here to where my lovely clouds are. Start messing with the opacity a little bit. Do that. Can't change the sun height, sadly. I can unlink it from that if I wanted to, but I shall see. I think apart from that, that looks okay. Then where's my lighting? Where's my light source again? Use temperature effects. Well, light shafts. Do enjoy light shafts. Don't want to change it too much. Just a little bit of light. Now back here, where this is. Just trying to decide if there's anything else I should do with this. Probably isn't. Doing a very simple scene at the minute. Okay. Messing around will start as this is here. There we go. Just put that in. Now change this to unlit again. Now over here. I'll try and get a few little trees in if I can. Some dirty little ones. I like the idea that there's a couple of little things just growing. Just 3 things. I can combine them. Scale them a little bit. I like this cherry tree being here actually. Seems so kind of out of place, I like it. Okay, so we've got a couple of cherry trees just wobbling around in the wind. So I'll add some grass. And so we've got, that's a cherry tree. I don't know why it's found grass when I did a search for cherry tree when I did a search for grass. Oh, can't find anything obviously. See if there's any fern. Oh, we've got ferns. Ferns are good. I like ferns. So I can start. Come up with some things near the water's edge here. Just like the idea that these things are just growing out of the water and around things. And it's so dark and like rank there, you see, that these little plants just coming through it. coming out of the water. It's kind of intruding a little bit on this maybe. So we've got this kind of overgrown temple thing going on here, but why are the lights lit? Who's turned them back on? There's someone coming out of there now. And that's kind of the thing that I like, just kind of trying to write a story in your head. Just trying to come up with why these things are here like this. Okay, now, is there any rubble? We've always got rubble. Rubble's useful. Maybe just put a little pile there like that. And there's something here. Just to break up the shape a little bit. Yeah, that's working for me. Quite liking that. And I think for a 36-minute test, that's not too bad. See if there's anything else I can add to this just while I'm here. I do like the idea to kind of come up with some yeah, I quite like the fact that that's kind of got that room thing going on there. If I was pulling back a bit further on my camera so that I could get more stuff in, then I put more walls in, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to kind of frame that out nicely. I think what I might do though is just kind of use some of these ruined walls over here, because they are nice. It just helps tell the scene, you know. Just telling a story. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now I need to put in a light importance volume, and I should probably put in a skylight. Actually no, that'll blow it out too much. Don't want the skylight. So I'm going to ponder for a second. Yeah, I'm going to build a volume, and it'll be a light mass importance. So, yeah, there's one in the scene. So, you have a look. And what I can do is just scale that to the right size. I want to cover that. I don't need anything more than that. That'll do me. Now, let me have a quick look. So I'm just going to play it from here. Give me an idea of how everything's looking and if the reflections are okay. It's a very simple scene, as you know. So, not a lot going on in there. Yeah, that will do. That will do. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to go to my blueprints and just open my level blueprint, and what I'm going to do is just make it so that when I start my level it goes to the camera. So what I'm going to do is on event begin play, I'm going to go to set target view with blend, I think. So it's set view target. I better turn off context sensitive, otherwise I'll get confused. So set view target blend. Okay, and so for the target self, I'll get player controller. I'll make this context sensitive, otherwise I'll get confused. Okay, there we go. And then I want to get the camera in our scene, so that's there. So there we go, camera actor. New view target, it's that one. Compile. Play. There, you see, so now it's the same scene and it's in letterbox mode because we're in our camera. things slowly blowing around and stuff, so that's cool. That's working okay for me. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build the lighting and wait patiently while it does it. So I shall hit pause for this bit. I don't often, but I'm feeling kind. There we go, and that's done. So this was a very simple scene. Okay, this is kind of a test for me as much as anything, so I'm going to be doing a time lapse of it as well. If I just press play, there we go. Nice. Water temple, I like that. Okay, so very simple. Okay, lots of pre-made assets. Your job, basically, if you want to recreate this, is just putting them all together. You don't really even need the ground rocks that I used, because if you look, there's only like that one there really visible, and maybe that one. Well, no, can't even see that one. So there you go. There's one over there. Look. So you don't even need the rocks. I was just using them for my own basic kind of preference. Turn off that. If you want to give this a try yourself, all the stuff's on the Unreal Engine marketplace. Like I say, the only thing that wasn't free is the what do you call it again? The rocks. So, you know, go hog wild, have some fun with that. And of course, remember, if you want to use like the ocean, you can have it like going really mad like that, or like that. If you want some like pretend caustics going on. There's all sorts of fun things you can do with it anyway. See, fun galore. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and bye bye for now.